Thank you for joining us for our reports video. The reports menu allows you to run sales reports, forecast, closed, and lost sales, equipment reports based on what is loaded in the TCO, company reports based on what's loaded in the accounts tab, activity reports, standard or ratio reports based on what has been completed or scheduled in the activities tab within the accounts tab. There's also an MPS price book report based on the equipment loaded in the MPS price book. All reports can be run for the user's assigned territory, and some reports can only be run by specific security levels. Okay, the first report we're going to show you is under Reports, and it's our sales report. In the new sales report option, you can run a report based on the criteria selected, and you can set filter options, teams or users, stages, status, as well as classification and categories. Let's see, where did my reports go? Here it is. It's hiding from me. Let's try that again. Okay, so you can set your date range. You can start with your start date, your end date. You can do a minimum revenue, a maximum revenue, minimum profit, maximum profit, as well as a minimum close percentage or a maximum close percentage. You can choose to group by user, category, stage, status, team, or user, and you can search by items only, items and accessories, or summary. So let's go ahead, and I need to go back a bit in my date because this is my test database. Let's just change the date here. And I'll leave that set at 12/31/2018. I'm not going to fill in any of this information. I'm going to say items only, and we can go by teams or users. I'm going to go by users and just select one user. But you can absolutely choose all if you wanted to by choosing select all or deselect all in either one of these areas. You have that option. And then we have drop downs here. So we also have our sales stages and opportunity status. So we can go in and say we want to do our sales stages by forecast or closed. How about both? And we'll go ahead and say forecasted and closed on our opportunity status as well. We could select all and deselect all as above as well. And then we can minimize these too. And then we have our account classification categories. So our account classification categories can be or, and then we have our item categories as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and choose current customers. And we'll just go ahead and leave that blank for this time being. And I'll go ahead and click Submit. And this will take just a moment. And here's our sales report. Shows you that it's the date range that we chose, the user that we chose. It gives you the client's name, the revenue, the reoccurring revenue, the gross profit, as well as the stage, and here's your close percentage. This is a nice report. You can also print this out if you'd like. And it's telling you what pages you're at. So there's 10 pages altogether. When you get to almost the last page, you're also going to have a total revenue and total gross profit graph. And then the last page is always going to show you what criteria you searched by. So this shows you that we chose the president, the stages were forecast and closed, we had statuses of closed and forecasted, and our account classification was current client. So if you wanted to run this report again, you would know what criteria you used to get to that result. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this report. So there's many different criteria that you can run under your sales reports. You've got all of your sales stages that you can take advantage of running reports on, any opportunity statuses, as well as your account classification and your items category. So let's see, I'm going to go and take this off of Lost and Remove from Funnel. And I'm going to go up. I think I've checked all of my users, and I have. Okay, and if I go down here to account classification, let me scroll down here, leave it on current client, and let me check all of these. Select all. And I can do category summary. Now, category summary will enable you to show for each user columns for each revenue category, and then columns for out cost, gross profit, and commission. If opportunity commissions module is turned on, that are totaled for all categories. So let's see if we can pull something up for this. And here's my Excel report. Open that up so you can see it. Breaks it down by my users. We've got hardware, MPS, other, IT services. So it's broken down in all your different categories. Color MFP, out cost, gross profit, and commission. And then again, it gives you the criteria for the report that you've run, so that if you want to run it again in the future, you know what criteria you've selected to run that report. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close out of this Excel doc. And the next report that I wanted to show you is under reports, of course, and we're going to go to equipment reports. Okay, your equipment reports are sales rep and higher security level have access. This will run a report by all equipment, lease end dates, make and model, regions, sales rep segment, speed, vendor, or zip code, based on the criteria that you select and what has been loaded into the Compass TCO. Choosing all will give you no options to select. All equipment loaded into the TCO for the user's accounts would be listed. So if we just ran a report on this and we said current customers only and submit, then we're going to get a report. Let me drag it over here for equipment list by client. So this is going to show you every company that you have within your database and what their equipment is, the location, whether it's leased or owned, and what the lease payment would be if they had one. So this is a great report if you want to see exactly how much equipment you have out there and what the status of that equipment is. And this is quite a lengthy report because this is everything that we have in our database. But you can drill down further, of course, by checking other options. So we'll go to that next. Let's go ahead, and I can print this out if I want. I'm going to go ahead and X out of it. So we can go and run by, say, make and model, segment, speed, vendor. Let's choose vendor. Okay, and then you can scroll through your vendor lists. I am going to choose HP, current customers only, and submit. These reports populate quite quickly. So these are all of the HPs for my current clients. Again, it's going to give you the company name, contact, all the different information, where they're located, what they have, okay, the location that it's in, if that information is put in. So again, this is another handy report that you can populate, and as you can see, quite quickly as well. So if I chose the lease end date, I can choose my region and load reps. I can choose my reps. I'm just going to choose president here. And what is my lease end date? Okay, let's see. I'm going to go back a bit just because it's a test database. I'm not going to go back too awful far though. And let me go out a bit here. I'm just going to put in. Okay, we can also include competitor equipment. We can run in Excel. We're going to go ahead and click submit. And we're going to get a Crystal report again. But we could have chosen to run it in Excel. So this gives us our lease expiration for all of the criteria that we had requested. Okay, and again, all of these you can choose to print if you would like to. So again, with your equipment reports, there's a lot of different criteria that you can drill down on, but just by whatever choices that you're making with the choices that you can make. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close out of our equipment report. The next is going to be our company reports. Okay, the company reports are sales manager, security level, and higher have access. This will run a report by all companies, zip code, sales reps, vertical market, or address based on the criteria selected. If the order by last update checkbox is selected, the report will be sorted by the last time the account record was updated in the activities section. And those reports can be run by an administrator only. So again, as you notice, you have a lot of different criteria that you can search by. We can search by all and or all current customers or not current. We can search by zip code or sales rep. Okay, so then we would choose our region, load the reps, and we'll go ahead and choose the president. Okay, we can also run by address or zip code, and we can also check to order by last update. We're going to go ahead and do search with what we've set up so far. Okay, and here is the company list. So this gives us all of the information for the criteria that we've set. If there, you can see they're all checked. Most of them are all checked as current customer in here. So this gives you a full list of that rep's current customers. Okay, and again, any of these lists you can print if you choose to. So if we chose, let's just say, not current customers, if we want to do by account classification or address, we can choose to do that here. But let's just see how many come up with that. And these are all of the not current customers for that rep that we chose. So these are all in his database and they are not current customers. So that's another great report to utilize. Okay, let's see. The next report I want to show you is the activity report. Now we can choose standard or ratio. Let's go here and we're going to choose standard to begin with. Now on this you can choose a date range. So if you wanted to, for instance, run an activity report for the week prior for your reps. Say it's Monday morning, you're going to have your Monday morning meetings and you have your one-on-ones after that. You'd like to see what your reps have been doing. What did you do this past week since our last meeting? So you could go back and let's see, we'll say, I'm going to go back just a little bit further because like I said, this is a test database. And we'll just take it to today. Okay, you can filter by contact date, activity date, or completed. So if you want to see what's completed, you can choose that here. You have miscellaneous options of activity count only, not completed, or if you're using points, you can also show points. Again, you can choose your region. Okay, and you can select all sales reps if you'd like, or if you wanted to run it one by one, you could just choose one rep. Then you can select the activity. So you can drill down by selecting all. We'll just select all. Or you could just choose, certain activities that you would like. Or we could say and select a classification if you wanted to. We're just going to run it like this. So I'm going to go ahead and click submit. And this is going to run the activity report for this date range that we've chosen. So we're going to be able to see what this sales rep has been doing in that period of time. And it's going to take a moment to populate here. It's still thinking. Okay, so here is our activity report. Again, it's in a crystal report. We can print this if we'd like, but it gives you the date range you've chosen, what the activities are, who your rep is, the appointments, that's the activity. It shows you how many appointments they've made. Now on this one you have to kind of tab over on it. Total emails, activity new accounts. So they're putting in new accounts here. Okay. And there's some more. They've added 16 new accounts. They've created 4 proposals, sales stage changes. What are they? And what are the notes that they've put in, etc. Gives you the activity date, the completed date. Here's the sales stages. Total activities are 36. That's not very much for the date range that I chose, but bear in mind this is my test database. So then it breaks it down here at the end, how many appointments, emails, new accounts, proposals, sales stages, your activities by type. And we'll go to the last page, and that just gives you totals. Okay, so this is a really good report to run, and as you can see, there's a lot of different criteria that you can search by and narrow it down by. I think that this is also a really good report for if you have new hires, just to keep track of what they're doing. Are they using the system? Are they keeping track of their activities? Because as we know, activities keep you on course for what you should be doing. Okay, so I'm going to close this and we're going to go back to the activities so I can show you the ratio report. So we're going to go here and choose the ratio report. Okay, now the ratio report will run a report by date range and reps to show total number of assigned current customers and prospects, how many have been contacted in each category, and what accounts have not been contacted. Okay. So let's go ahead and select a date range. And again, I'm going to go back a bit. Okay. And we can choose a region. So let's go ahead and choose our region. And we can select all reps, or again, you can just choose one rep if you want. But let's go ahead. We'll select all. Okay. We can also choose just to show the summary. We can also do the and or with the account classifications. But we're going to go ahead and click submit. Now hopefully this report doesn't take too long to run since I've chosen all of the users, but it'll take a minute. Okay, that didn't take too awful long. And here's our activity ratio report. Accounts not contacted. It shows the date range, how many customers, how many prospects, and the total, and accounts contacted. This is showing nothing. So all of these accounts that are in here have not been contacted. Okay, let me try to run another one, narrow it down a little bit more. Let's see. I'm going to do, and let me see if I do current client. Let's see. Do we have that in here? Okay, I don't see that. So let's just do, how about if we do, let me narrow it down just to one person here. So I'm going to unselect all and choose one rep. Okay, and click submit, and we'll see what happens there. Okay, now we've got a little bit more information here so that you can see. So again, we have the customers, prospects, total, accounts contacted, prospects, as well as the total. And this gives you the ratio over here. So this gives you the percentage that you can see. But this is quite a long list, as you can see. Okay, so this is another one to keep track of. So you can see, gives you the ratio. You can see the percentage of how much they're putting into their accounts and trying to keep up to date with those. Okay, let's see. The last report I'm going to show you is the MPS price book. Okay, the MPS price book is for administrators only. Okay, no, sales reps don't have access to this. The MPS price book report allows you to run reports into Excel from the price book pricing tables. Okay, these reports are helpful because they will easily allow you to view if a machine is missing a cost, as well as see the supplier a consumable should be ordered from, which is a supplies used report. And you can also see how the CPC for the device was calculated. The choices are to run a supplies used, supplies available, or an audit report. So you're going to choose the option you want, the manufacturer you want to export, and choose to include unauthorized models or not. Okay, so the supplies used report will give you a list of all the supplies used to price out each machine, the supplier that the cost came from, the cost, and yield. So this can be useful when determining what supplies to order. So we'll say supplies used. I am going to uncheck all because this could take some time. And we'll just go ahead and let's choose HP. Okay, we can include unauthorized models if we want to. We would check this box, but I'm going to choose Run Report now. And we'll see what this comes up with. Okay, so we have our export. And it's an Excel form. And here we go. So this gives you, and it tells you supplies used report, and it has the date on it as well as the time. So here's your model, your type, your cartridges, etc. So it breaks it down by your models and what you have going on here. Okay, so that's one good report to run there. We're not going to save that. Okay, so the next one is going to be the MPS price book, and we're going to do supplies available. So the supplies available will give you a list of all of the equipment and the supplies that have pricing loaded for each machine and who the supplier is. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll choose, let's choose a different one this time. We'll uncheck all and choose Brother. Okay, and we could include unauthorized models again if we wanted to, and we're going to go ahead and run the report. Again, this will populate into Excel. And here's our Excel form down here. Okay, so this shows you. You've got all of your Brother devices. It tells you it's authorized. Here's your supplies network. That's your supplier. Okay, it's going to give you the type and the drum if it's active. These are all active because we did not choose inactive. Okay, so this is going to give you all of the information for what you've ran the report on. Okay, and we're going to go back to MPS price book once again. And this time we're going to choose the audit report. Okay, the audit report will show any discrepancies in the MPS price book based on two types of conflict categories: missing consumables and incomplete consumables. Okay, if Compass finds no conflicts within a piece of equipment entry, it will not show up on this report at all. If it finds no missing or complete consumables, okay. However, if one category shows a conflict and the other doesn't, the one that doesn't will show that nothing was found. Okay. So let's go ahead and I'm wondering how long it would take to run all of these. Let's just go ahead. I'm going to try it. Okay, I'm going to run the report and we'll see. So I'm hoping to get some, because remember this is test database. Okay, so this might take a little bit here. I might should have not chose all of these, but let me just explain a little bit more. If the model entered is not found in the TCO printer list, this could be a potential issue, because if the user has to manually enter the device in the TCO rather than choosing from the drop-down, they don't type in the same way it is listed in the price book, it will show as unauthorized when transferred to Printer Pricer. Okay, so while this is still thinking, I'm just going to add a little bit more. If there are missing consumables, if Compass finds that we determined there are certain consumables available for a particular model, in other words, there is a consumable listed in the TCO model list and not one in the MPS price book, it will come up on the report as having missing consumables. Okay, I may have to stop this and run a smaller list here. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to reset, and I'm just going to run for HP. So obviously, I think you just want to do one manufacturer at a time for time purposes anyway, unless you're going to do it at the end of the evening so that it can work on populating that at the end of the day. Okay, that was much better. So here is our report. And this is our Pricebook audit report. Okay, that's why I wanted to do something else, because then you would be able to see more information. But this would definitely give you, I chose HP. So this would give you, there's no incomplete consumables found, which is great, because that way your users aren't going to run into problems when they're in trying to create their proposals, etc. So there are no missing consumables for this device. Okay, and that's the only one that pulled up. So that's your MPS Pricebook report. Now I do have one other report I wanted to show you, and that is your promo report. Okay, let me drag this over. As you know, you can create promotions, whether they're company promos, item promos, the dates, etc. So we can choose, let's choose company promos. I'm going to see if I have anything set up in here and choose view data. And these are the company promos that I currently have. So let me expand on this so you can see a little bit more. But it gives you the start date, the end date, what the discount was, what the make was that we chose, gives you your descriptions, your details, etc. So you can do the same thing for your item promos as well. It's a good way to keep track of the promotions that you're utilizing for your sales reps to take advantage of. We could also export this to an Excel spreadsheet if we wanted to. That way we could have a hard copy. Okay, that's all that I had for you for this reports video. Hope that you found it beneficial. If you do have any questions on this, please don't hesitate to contact us at training@compasscontact.net. Thanks so much.